What are we making today, Chef?
So today we are preparing our fall Passion is Cooking winter paella.
We got the temperature on high. You're
Yes.
heating up the paella pot.
We got our oven at 350 degrees. Okay, so we're gonna sear the pan. We're gonna have some beautiful, phenomenal Spanish olive oil.
It has to be Spanish
Have
because
to be
it's paella.
español. So this is the important part because we need to make the famous sacarat. And the sacarat is the little crust that we're gonna have in the bottom. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm distributing the fat nicely. And now, first the chicken goes in.
For anyone that doesn't know, this is Pasha's Cooking, Chef Dario and Anita Heidema. Go on over to info@pashascooking.com. Sorry, www.pashascooking.com.
Perfetto. Eccoci qua. So here we got our chicken. This is the first step of our paella. Okay? So obviously we want to make sure that we season on the opposite side also. So we're gonna drizzle the pepperoni. So remember, the important part here on the chicken, we kept the skin because we want to make sure we have the beautiful, phenomenal caramelization.
And when you cook together and eat together,
You stay together and you enjoy time together.
that's it.
So let's look quickly at all the sides, right? Over here, if you want to quickly show them, we've made with the bones a little chicken broth. Then it's been infused with a little bit of saffron and a little bit of the trimming of the vegetable. And that is going to be the liquid which we are going to be using for the paella.
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 Make it upwards again.
I do. So I want to make sure the caramelization is to be done properly. I want to take my time. I really see it's not quite there yet because this one is the first step of our paella. So we want to make sure that it's perfectly seared.
So I'd love to explain to people that we're going to be doing a live cooking class. We've done it for many clients, or actually globally, because now that we can do it online, we can do it from anywhere.
Correct.
And we've done it up to 800 people actually that have cooked with us. And the great thing about it is it's cook together, stay together. And with companies, they want to do team building. They want to create a connection with families. People are working from home now. And it's more important than ever to come up with some ideas, and having a little bit of a team building cooking experience is really beneficial. And we also do wine and juice pairing to everything that we do as well. It's a bit different.
Which is also a great combination. You came up with a phenomenal combination with this paella, which if people want to know, go into Passion is Cooking and you find out that.
But you know what? Unfortunately, at this moment, this video is for the people on the cooking class only. So people are not going to be able to get it as of now. But possibly eventually we'll be putting it into our newsletter, our What's Sharing newsletter, that will give you all the details behind it.
So look how beautiful the caramelization here. And it looks like it might be a lot of fat, but it's not quite yet because all this fat is going to be absorbed, right? Look at that. Beautiful.
What's interesting is that many people don't think of Spanish for olive oil as much, but it's one of the largest producers. I always think of it as Italy or Greece.
Yeah, but they're not.
Spain, and when you did the cooking for the olive oil tasting,
The judging
years ago, it was quite interesting what Spain is coming out with.
Very fascinating. I mean, they have phenomenal olive oils, phenomenal wines. It's quite impressive. You see, we're taking our time here. We want to make sure there we go. Beautiful caramelization. Look at this gorgeous color. And we have on our beautiful chicken over here.
So we're going to come back in a few minutes to do the next step. So now, what are we going to be doing, Chef?
Now we're going to remove the chicken and we set it in a pan to pot it nicely and dry. Okay? So the next step on the same pan, we're going to lower the heat. We're going to add some of the onions. nicely. You're gonna make sure move it around nicely.
I'm waiting for the day of smell-o-vision.
Oh my God, does that smell good?
Oh, it does.
So right now what I'm gonna add some of these beautiful sausages. You know, we can add chorizo sausages.
And which one are these?
This one we could not find chorizo, we found some beautiful hot Italian sausage.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So we just to give a little bit of the beautiful flavor. Okay.
And that's the interesting thing about our Fridge Feast series is it talks about using what we can find,
Exactly,
right? Especially during these times.
Adapting
Some
yourself.
things are not as available, and you know what? There are other products that you can use.
So as soon as my sausage are seared, okay, we are going to add la pièce de la résistance, which is this beautiful butternut squash. They've been lightly diced. Very ironic because this is now one of the elements and it's part of the French culture, but we welcome Canada to the world of paella. See what I mean? We just be very careful with our colors here. Okay.
Doing now, Chef.
Perfect. So now we have the sausage nicely and cooked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly remove the sausage. I don't want to overcook them. Okay, gently I'm going to remove it with the chicken. See the beautiful little color there of the onions. Again, controlling the heat is an important step. Now we're going to have our butternut squash.
So what have you turned it down to? So you've got it to medium now, right? So
We
it's
got
very
it.
high to do the sausage?
Now exactly. So now we turn it down to medium low. Okay, so we want to make sure that we do not overcook our vegetable. Okay, we don't want to make sure we give too much color. But right now, we want to release that beautiful sugar that is a big part of the squash right now. Okay, at this point in time, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start add the condiments. Okay, so one of the part of the condiments we're gonna add is some smoked paprika, okay, or espalette, phenomenal here. Okay, just right here, we're gonna add just a little bit of the smoked paprika, just for a little bit of flavor. Okay.
And what's the main spice you use for paella?
Well, smoked paprika, cayenne, and of course the main one, it is the saffron, okay, which we actually infuse a little bit on our beautiful broth, okay, and some we could actually add a little bit on the paella over here.
So how do you know when the squash is actually cooked?
So we don't want to cook them right away, okay? We want just to release some of their beautiful flavors, okay, some of their beautiful sugars here. So you want to make sure then not too much color. Okay.
So you've sweat the onions.
Correct.
And then what do you call that for the...
Sweat the shallot. You're sweating the shallot, sorry, the butternut squash.
Okay, I thought it was caramelized.
No, we don't caramelize them.
Okay.
That's one thing we don't want to do. So now we're going to add the stem of the Swiss chard. Okay? Because the Swiss chard, they're going to be a part of this dish.
So colorful.
So beautiful. That's right. I want to make sure that we create that. And now, at this point in time, lowering the heat, okay, I'm going to add the rice. Okay? So the rice is important. Then we add it.
You add it right on?
Right on it. Exactly. So just like that, we're going to add the rice. And this is the important part right now because we want to make sure that our rice is perfectly coated with all the vegetable, and we are going to lower the temperature again, playing around and keep turning the pot around so it's all the heat
evenly covered.
correct.
And evenly
So this one is almost the same step when we make
risotto, isn't it?
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The only difference here about this one,
You let it sit, right?
we do not, once the liquid goes in, we don't touch it anymore. You know, we just let it be. So because we want to create the saccharat. What is the saccharat? is a beautiful little crust that is developed in the bottom of the pan that everybody actually goes crazy for because there is a beautiful caramelization of the rice and all the vegetable then sits right on the bottom of the pan.
Do you need to have a special pan for this? Like this is a great paella.
This is a paella,
But can you use anything?
You can use anything, yes.
Okay.
You can use a pan. As long as the most important thing is to make sure that the pan is actually quite wide, so it gives opportunity to the rice to actually cook. So you see what I'm doing? I'm controlling the heat. So I'm going down a little bit again. And what I'm doing, I'm quick toasting it, moving it around all the time.
We gotta get whatever oven is. Oh, you're used to using it.
Here we go. So now, at this point in time, what we're gonna have? We're gonna have some of, look at this what we brought today.
That is our special sauce. We made
Chard.
300 liters.
Yes, 300 of the beautiful passata di pomodoro. So we're gonna have some of our beautiful passata di pomodoro.
And all the instructions, I'm thinking that we're going to put the recipe
Absolutely.
in our newsletter. So go on over to Passionate Cooking to what's stirring, and then we can have the details in there for you for the recipe for this.
So look at that. Beautifully, the tomatoes develop. So what I'm going to do now, okay, I'm going to add my chicken.
And this is usually done with seafood, but...
You can do it with seafood. And what I'm going to do with the chicken, just place it around, just like that. Our sausages. Look how beautiful. It's already starting looking paella. Our beautiful sausage here that we seared before. The reason why we seared everything before is because we wanted to develop some of those beautiful, beautiful colors and beautiful pan juices, which they are in the bottom of the pan. Okay, look at that. I think we got enough. What do you think? Perfect. So now, the next thing I'm going to add our broth. Okay? So we have our beautiful chicken broth. Beautifully.
And you don't stir up anything. You just let it sit.
You don't want to stir it up.
So how do you know how much...
You basically want...
Is up to a certain level?
Yeah, double of the volume of the rice.
Okay.
That's pretty much what we're looking for.
Again, all the recipes will be are in our newsletter. But.
So we're going to be very careful here. And now, I'm not putting in the oven just yet. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let it come to a boil. I'm just going to raise the heat a little bit.
And then that's it. So then...
I'm going to add some of my beautiful Swiss chard. Just for a little bit of color. Again, color is part of this beautiful dish. Normally we would have some prawns, some mussel, some clams, anything you want. You could actually put some corn kernel. But we want to make sure that we bring a little bit of the color of the fall. Everybody said the fall is boring. Well, no, not in this case.
It's not. This is spicing it up a little bit.
Spicing it up a bit. That's right. So here we go. Beautiful. So the trick here now is keep turning it around very gently.
And why is turning it around? Is that if the heat's not equal in
If
all
the
parts?
heat is not equal, you're going to have a problem. So we want to make sure that we turn it around. And then once some of the liquid is reduced,
Then you put it in the oven?
we're going to bake it on a preheated oven at 350 degrees for approximately 20 to 25 minutes, okay? Or until all the liquid is being absorbed.
So we're going to cut it now, and then we're going to come back with the finished product. So now straight out of the oven.
See how beautiful this one? We got the beautiful sauerkraut developed over here. Beautiful color on the chicken, okay? Isn't it beautiful?
I love it.
Doesn't it a beautiful color? Almost as beautiful as you.
Aw,
that we marinated with a little bit of olive oil. Okay, beautiful colors. Look at that. And then we're gonna garnish with some limone.
Ah, perfetto.
Isn't it bello? Like this. And because I want to be creative, do you allow me to be creative?
You're always creative, but do I have a choice?
You do always have a choice. You run the joints. So I have some beautiful dehydrated kale.
And I have to show them how we dehydrated this kale.